jammed up with another individual, took my full responsibility. He took his, but unfortunately, when he went to go take the case, they said, nah, that ain't happening. The feds took it. Dismiss it, go back to Nash, and you're gonna sit there and then whatever happens, happens. Each one of my youths, I helped, whether it was dropping them off, whether it was court, whether it was getting cases dismissed, whether it was writing letters for court, whatever it is. Even if their mom was struggling, I took time out of my day. Hey, we're gonna go over to this food pantry and we're gonna go grab mom some groceries. Don't worry about it. I got you.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Bounce Back Podcast. I'm your host, B. Luke. I got a special guest with me today. Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell the people your name, where you're from, and a little bit about yourself.
My name is Tulie. I grew up in the city of Roxbury, for those that do know me. Also, what I do is I help brothers, sisters, whoever, different race, all kind of race. I help them expunge queries. Expunge their record out of the police database, expunge it out of the state police, the FBI, and all of that. Cases that mainly that was dismissed. So what I do is I try to help brothers. It could be 4 brothers inside of a car. We all might got charged for some drugs or whatever. But we all beat it. That is to be deleted off of your record. Completely wiped out. There's no trace of it, no nothing.
Why did you want to get involved with that?
Because I realized when I was a young youth myself, a young kid, I made a lot of mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I've made a lot of wrong decisions, and as time went on, I kept getting into trouble.
Yeah.
And then from me being a youth, it led me to be committed to DYS, to 18, and then that led me to South Bay, and that led me to the feds.
Okay. So let's just talk about the youth part of it when you were young. Tell me a little bit about the home dynamic. Siblings, both parents around?
Yes. So my stepdad is my dad. I consider him my father, and everyone knows him to be my father. My mom, good dad, good household. And I understand some stuff that was poured in me may not be what every youth should have poured into them. Mm-hmm. I feel like every youth should be able to have a chance to get the good stuff poured in them instead of the negative. And that's not to throw no shade, no dirt on nobody, but those are the decisions I made. Okay. So I can't fault nobody, but whatever was poured into me at a young age, I took that, I ran with it. It was what it is.
So talk to me about your path as a student, as a young student, elementary school. Were you getting in trouble? Were your grades good?
A little bit. Grades was definitely good.
Okay.
A little bit, I was in trouble.
Okay.
As I got to high school, that's when it was like
a little bit more trouble. Okay. Yeah, when do you first start getting involved with brushes with the law?
I started around, I believe, 11 years old.
What kind of things is an 11-year-old doing, man? I know it's...
Honestly, it started from a fight fight from my actual pool.
Okay.
And me and the fellas, we all got locked up.
Okay.
So it was from a fight. And then I calmed down, and then, I was
okay, so you mentioned DYS, so talk about you go from 11. When do you eventually see a DYS cell?
Probably at like 14.
And what are the events that kind of lead up to that?
Honestly, I was just committed to 18. I was doing stuff, cut the bracelet off, whatever, didn't want to listen, didn't want to follow the rules. I had a 5 o'clock curfew. I had no outside weekends. And I was like, dude, you guys got to figure this out. Okay, well, we'll just...
You do a lot of work with the youth now. So tell me some things about how do you think you would kind of change the DYS system, if you could, that would help the kids better than what's going on now.
So last year I had 150 youths. I helped them change their lives. I helped them change their thinking. I helped them change what was poured into them. And I helped them so much to the point where they gravitate towards me like, wow, man, we never had this. We never had someone that we can look up to, someone that can say, hey, I relate to you. I feel the pain you're going through, but I'm here for you. Let's sit down. Let's go one-on-one. And each one of my youths, I helped, whether it was dropping them off, whether it was court, whether it was getting cases dismissed, whether it was writing letters for court, whatever it is. Even if their mom was struggling, I took time out of my day. Hey, we're going to go over to this food pantry, and we're going to go grab mom some groceries. Don't worry about it. I got you. And stuff like that. So as we was doing that, as we was helping the younger youth do this type of stuff, the kids, they understand. And like I told them, whatever you're going through, we're here to talk to you. we're here for you. However, I have a team behind me, but they have collisions. If you need to speak to someone, I'm not licensed, but I can get you someone that is licensed.
Okay.
Whatever it is that you may need, we're here. Bus pass, whatever it is.
That's dope.
I'll wrap the resources around you.
So those resources, providing that's absolutely dope. But I noticed the first thing that you said was that you changed their thinking. Why?
Because I believe today, in this era, the youth deserve a chance to grow. I believe that from the bottom of my heart, because for the simple fact that what was poured into me was bullshit. Excuse my language, but what was poured into me...
Like what kind of things? Like limited beliefs, like, oh, you can't do this, you
Yeah,
can't,
so-
like a negative mindset?
Yeah, so it was a negative mindset, but I got to own that. I took that. I accepted that. That's just what it is. But I feel like that the youth, now what I'm trying to do is pour that positive into them and pour that into them. And like I tell them, I don't want to hear that you don't have a chance. I don't want to hear that you didn't have the chance that I had. No, that's wrong. Because if you want the chance that I had, you got to look over your shoulders every time you turn around. And you don't want that. So there's good legal money out here for you young youths to get. It's out there. It's good legal money. You don't want no bad money because now you got to look over both shoulders every time you turn around. So once I explained that and once I showed them that and then I used my story for me being shot, they was like, wow, like wow. So now it opened their eyes up even more. So as I'm open arms with these kids and they're like, wow, man. Like,
so what's that like being shot?
well, this time, unfortunately, the cop arrived in 40-something seconds. And I was pretty much done. But because he put a tourniquet on me, he revived me somehow, some way by banging on my chest or whatever he was doing. I don't know. I woke up and then I went back out. I woke back up to him putting on a second tourniquet. And that's when they kept me up. They're like, dude, talk to us, talk to us all the way through until the ambulance get here. And then when they take over, whatever happens, happens. So they was talking to me, hey, what's your name? Spell it, say it again, spell it, make sure we got it. And I use that story to the young youth to let them know, like, hey, you guys don't want to be through this. This is some trauma stuff here. You guys don't want it. So if you guys don't want this, allow me to pour some good into you. And, you know, we speak about a lot of different stuff. Bank accounts, what's the right bank accounts, credit unions, how to raise your credit, how to build your credit. I teach my youth all of that. And I do that because I wasn't given that when I was younger. Most adults or most youths, they wait till they're 21 to try to figure it out.
That's important how you said you don't want to have to go through that trauma. And that's like best case scenario, right? Because worst case scenario, you might not make it through that event to even deal with the trauma. And you just want to stay away from those scenarios altogether. Am I right?
Correct.
What's the best way to do that right now for a youth to stay away from the quote unquote the streets?
I feel like the youth has a lot of resources. I put them on my Instagram all the time. I put carpentry programs for the youths all the time. I put classes. I put, recently I just put 6 things Harvard are doing. I can't remember the exact, but they're giving it for free to the actual community. So I promote that stuff to let the young youth know, hey, I'm here for you. I relate to you. I grew up in the same area as you. And I'm not talking down on it. No, I just realized where I'm at today in my life. What I want for my kids is what I'm gonna pour into y'all. So you can take carpentry, you can take youth build, you can go to My Brother's Keeper. Actually, their program actually started today, I think. It's on my Instagram right now. There's a band program out there.
Why don't you just tell the people what your Instagram is so if they can find you?
My Instagram is my name, Javon Tooley. You might see it as Tulie617. I promote a lot of stuff. Even other
avenues,
whatever that you may need. Whether it's I also have a website, Adapt and Evolve LLC. You can use it. I put resources up there, such as from food pantries to bus passes to clothing to all organizations that have free stuff for guys that are coming home and for the youth, women too. I post that stuff on my actual website. Why? Because I feel like a lot of brothers and sisters when they get out, and not to get off the youth thing, but a lot of brothers and sisters when they get out, I feel like that they don't have the resources to wrap around them. And I feel like the resources are very important because it's important to the youth and also it's important to the young adults. Why is that? Because if I don't have the resources, it's going to lead me into negativity.
Yeah. So let's just talk about the young adults, right?
Yep.
I caught my first adult case at
Yep.
17, still committed to DYS.
Yep.
So I was pretty much a rollover right away. What's your experience after you got out of DYS? How long until you start catching adult cases?
Right away.
And that led to what? Is that what?
South
Where you
Bay.
went to South Bay?
Yep.
How much time did you get?
I did, I believe, when I sentenced 2 years.
2 years?
Yep.
Now, was that longer than any amount of time you did in DYS?
They released me early because I was real young.
Mm-hmm.
And because school was starting back up. So what happened was I was in South Bay for a little bit of time. Parole came and saw me. When they see my age, they're like, look, dude, school's about to start back up. We can get you back in January. Let's try to get you paroled back out. But we got to see if we can get permission for this.
Wow.
At that time, I was in the Boston Reentry program then.
Okay.
That's what they had to go see inmates, like, hey, stop before you end up in the feds.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that they was telling the actual truth. I'm like, nah, they're BSing me. They're bugging.
Yeah.
But I ended up, my next case, I went to the feds.
So fair to say those 2 years, it didn't really deter you from getting back in the streets. Why do you think that was? Do you think it was strictly your age?
No, I feel like I didn't have the resources. I didn't have the resources. I didn't have the arms to grab them, to be able to grab me like, hey, we're here for you. Let us help you. Let us guide you. I needed a phone when I got out. I didn't have that. I needed a ID. I needed social security card. Yes, social security cards are free, but phones ain't. I need a birth certificate. They're not free. So I didn't have the resources to be able to get all these items so I can be able to get a job. And then even with a job, it's like, I have to go back, seal up my record so I can hide it, so I can get employment, because most employment now, they're not on a local level no more. They're working with state levels now where they can see your actual jacket. Wow. So they're going to look at your carry. I'm like, I don't think so. Because they get it either from a state or from a federal level. They don't do locals no more.
Okay. So how long after did you complete that parole and graduate high school, or just talk about that?
No, I actually violated parole. I went back for like 2 months, then I got
wrapped up.
Yep.
No probation?
No.
Do you think you would have been better off with probation, or is that more of a setup? I hear a lot of people say it's a setup, but I think if you're not ready for it, it's a setup. But the older you get,
I feel like it's a setup, but then it's not, because they have resources. So they have money, they have programs, but they only give it to who they want to. They don't just give it to everybody.
Right.
They hide it.
The gatekeepers of information.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're here for, to talk about.
That's why I release it. Anything
Dope.
I find, I release it on my Instagram. I release it on my website.
Yeah.
Why? Because I want brothers to be able to get that information, sisters to be able to get that information. Why? Because I don't want to hold it from you.
Absolutely. And that's why we're up here and telling our stories and sharing resources, and it's great. So for clarification, though, you violated, you wrapped up.
Yep.
No probation, though, right? Straight wrap? Okay.
Yep.
How long between that before things start happening and the feds get involved?
No, so I got out, knucklehead, got out. I'm like, crap, I need some money. I'm broke. I need some money. I got to figure it out. Mommy don't have it. Daddy don't have it. I'm 20 at the time. So now I'm like, crap. So my only means was I know how to get it. And I've always been good at that. I know how to make sure that I'm okay.
Yeah.
So what I did was I just put myself at risk. Went back out there, grabbed a pack, whatever I did on my own. And
how long does that last? How long was that run?
A couple months.
Okay.
And unfortunately, that was the end.
So what happens? Is it like a raid, or like
no? I
get a warrant?
Got jammed up with another individual. I took my full responsibility. He took his. But unfortunately, when he went to go take the case, they said, nah, that ain't happening. The feds took it. Dismiss it, go back to Nash, and you're going to sit there, and then whatever happens, happens.
Is that what happened? You sat in Nashville Street fighting your federal case?
No, so I sat in Nash. I waited. And like maybe a week goes by. The officer comes and say, hey, the feds are here now. They're going to release you to the federal courthouse. Okay. So they brought me over to the federal courthouse. I go in. I'm like, oh, I ain't never been in a building like this. So
right. But that must be intimidated, because when you see United States
versus you, it's like, okay. But then I goes in, I'm like, so the clerks asked me, hey, how do you plead? Listen, we're going to get this over now. We ain't going to waste no games. My lawyers ain't no, be quiet. We're going to plead not guilty today. If you want to plead guilty on your next court date, then we can do that. I said, I'm not playing around with these people. what's the lowest number you guys got?
At arraignment.
Yeah. My lawyer's like, yeah, we'll see you later.
Right. This
They
protocols.
sent me to Plymouth, went there. Terrible.
Yeah, I was in Plymouth in 05. Man. How long are you sitting in Plymouth?
Yeah, see, the feds they don't give you their court dates. They actually hide them from you.
Oh, they tell
it's
you
months.
They just wake you up that day.
They wake you up. Hey.
So
court.
what happens? You eventually do get a plea deal.
Yep.
Just talk about
eventually,
that.
I get a plea deal. I'm gonna take it and go.
Mm-hmm. You took the first thing they offered you.
Yeah, I says
okay.
I'll plead open.
What was the sentence?
It was an open plead. They ended up giving me 5 with 5 years.
Okay, so explain that to me. From what I'm getting, an open plea is pretty much you're pleading guilty, and then it's on the judge afterwards to give you a number.
Correct. So So they wanted a binding plea. I says no. So the prosecutor said I'll ask for a certain number, but I'll allow you to go open. I said okay, cool, bet. Mm-hmm. My lawyer says sometimes that's trick. That's like a trick thing. Mm-hmm. But because you're very young, it's good for you. Mm-hmm. You're only 20 years old, kid.
How big was your adult record at that time? Just that one self-based state?
Small. It was very, very small. The judge gave me 5 years. It was very small. Didn't really have a record. And like my lawyer said, Your Honor, if he would have pled out in state, he would have got maybe 6 months. Right. So the judge said, well, unfortunately, this is not the state. And but at that time, I believe the drug weight was 101 ratio to 1. Mm. So basically, if you got caught with 3 grams, that's actually 3 grams of hard cooked up. That would be 300 grams of coke.
Wow. That's
how they would charge you. But a lot of people, they didn't know that. Wow. That's why President Obama reduced it to 15 to 1 ratio. Mm-hmm. So if you get caught with a certain amount of hard, it's only 15 to 1 ratio. So now the sentence is very lenient.
So just talk about that federal journey. How does that work, man?
First, I was in Plymouth, Wyatt, New York, Philly, and then I believe it was Maryland.
Maryland, and that's where you pretty much stayed for the remainder of your stay. Do you hit like a camp or low or anything like that?
Medium.
Okay.
A medium.
So what's that?
FCI?
FCI. Okay.
FCI. I can't remember the exact name because it was a while ago.
Yep.
But it was definitely a FCI. Went there, did the drug program, got out. I was doing good. I had a couple slip-ups, caught cases. They was dismissed though.
Federal probation, it seems like that's a common thing.
The supervised release.
Okay.
So that's what it's called. So and they just kept extending. I'm like, dude, I'm not doing this. They're like, dude, you caught so many cases, dude. Like, but they're minor cases. But whatever. So, but I did finish it though.
Did you have a plan for your release before you got out?
To be honest, I was in class a lot up there. They had a lot of classes, real estate, all that type of stuff. I took the knowledge, took whatever I can get, public speaking, stuff like that.
Why was that important for you to get this knowledge?
Because it was like, all right, what am I going to do when I actually do get out? Am I going to be a statistic? Am I going to be homeless? Am I going to be robbing people? What am I going to do? Mm-hmm. You know, I'm past 21 now. Right. I'm in federal prison. Now, it's not my mother's job to take care of me. It's not my father's job to take care of me. I am a man, right? So I have to stand on my own 2 feet. I have to make certain decisions. So now with that being said and done, what am I going to do? Okay. So I gets out, halfway house.
How old are you at this point? You wrap up from federal prison?
I think I got out at 24. I was in the halfway house in Lawrence. It was pretty good. They send you though to jobs though. See, so Lawrence, their halfway house is set up already. Okay. They got the jobs. They got the contracts. Okay. You don't know nothing. You don't know what the real money is that you're getting at the end of the day. You just get your check and you just go about your business. Okay.
What was the next move for you after the halfway house?
I violated, I think, a week before.
Damn.
Before my time was up. I'm like, crap.
Damn.
Then they sent me back for 10 months. I was like, what?
Damn.
It's like, dude, we're going to send you back for 10 months. So I had a week before, like, Grandpappy can't give me a break.
Right.
They said, nah, we're going to send you back.
For 10 months.
Because I did the drug program. Damn. So, and everyone wrote letters like, dude, like.
So what's this time like now? 10 months. You already did it. Now you're like, damn, I'm back.
Yep. So once I hit the yard, you was like, bro, what happened, dude? You was free. Mm-hmm. So with that being said and done, I went back. I seen the caseworker. The caseworker said they sent you back for a 300. It's called shots. Like they write their little reports. It's called shots. For some reason, I don't know
Yeah,
why. But
I got that terminology on. Or orange is the new black. They use that
yep.
same.
So they're like, you got sent back for a 300 shot. They didn't give you a break and let you go. I says no. They says come back and go do the 10 months. They says we're gonna put you back into the halfway house. I said how? He's like, but you gotta wait to get accepted. He put in the paperwork. 3 months later, go back home.
Okay.
Now I'm like bet word.
What's your mindset like this time?
I'm
now?
out. I wrapped up the but I didn't go back to the to the farm. That was in like Middleton area.
Okay.
So I went to the Coolidge house this time.
That's in Boston?
Boston. I'm like, bet word. I went there. It was just all love.
Was that better being closer to home for you?
Yes.
Okay.
So when I got out from there, I was trying to like network. I'm like, where's these resources at? What resources are here? I believe they were sending people over to Whittier Street, Boston. Wasn't really nothing there for me. I'm like, I bet I'll sign the housing paperwork. What else is out there? Then a good man of my Conan Harris, wrapped his arms around me. You know, he's a good dude. He's he's the guy that like mentored me, man, to who I am today. Him and Sean Brown. You might know him. He's the executive director for BAM.
Okay.
Becoming a Man. So they molded me to who I am today. They're like, dude, let us put these resources around you. I says, finally, like someone got some resources, man. Like I couldn't find nothing. They're like, what? Like, we're gonna pay you. Go to this group over here at Street Safe Boston. You're gonna go there every day. From a certain time, you're gonna wear a suit and a tie. I don't want a suit. I don't want a tie. He says, don't worry about it. France from France. He was with the Boston Reentry then. Okay. I told France, like, dude, they want me to wear a suit and tie. I don't got that, bro. I don't even have no money. I just got out. He said, don't worry about it. I said, what? He's like, listen, there's resources. So that's when I start learning that there was resources and money everywhere. I'm like, wait, where's all this money at? Where's all this money coming from? He said, don't worry about it. They took me to Target. They bought me $500 worth of clothes. Wow. France accidentally brought me the wrong clothes though. He bought me collar shirts, stuff, khakis, stuff like that. Okay. So Kim Petrell was like, I think he bought you the wrong stuff. I says, I'll wear it. Let's find out. So I didn't pop the tags off yet. I get the call the next day. Hey, I bought you the wrong stuff. I said, all right, come pick the stuff up. You take it back to the store, then you go get the right stuff for me because I can't just leave the halfway house like that. He's like, you know what? Don't worry about it. He calls the halfway house. He needs a pass. He needs to come out. I got to take him to go over here. They got to take down his plate. I'm like, wow. So I'm like, I bet, cool. So he says, leave that stuff here. I says, what? He's like, we're going to buy another $500 worth of stuff. I'm like, what? I'm like, whoa. This can't be true. $1,000 in clothes, bro. I can't even pay that.
You feel like you're scamming almost? Like this something ain't right?
So he's like, bro, the money's here for guys like you. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. So boom, he brings me. We went to Marshall's, all of that. Button-ups, slacks, all that. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, we got dress shoes, got me a few ties. So now I'm going down to Street Safe Boston. I'm going to the programs, all of that, doing what I got to do. So now I'm like, crap. So now Sean Brown took a liking to me. He's like, you doing your thing. I like the coordinating and all that, how you wearing your stuff. I like that. You always come in like an hour early. You're very, so boom. So now that I'm just there every day doing my thing. So now it was just becoming great opportunities. He wrapped his arms around me. I got you now. He mentored me. He started bringing me around to everybody, showing me where all the resources were at. And I'm like, wow, I never knew that it was this much resources out here. He's like, nah, I never knew about this. Yeah.
So why do you think that is? That like not enough of us do know about those resources?
I feel like a lot of us don't never go look. We're not looking. Like when he had someone refer me to Solutions at Work, I believe it was in Cambridge. Okay. That's where it was at the time. It was in Cambridge. I went there. I got like 6 suits. Like 6 solid suits. Wow. And then they mixed up the last 3 suits where it was like just mix and match. They gave me 6 ties, 6 button-ups, 2 pair dress shoes. I'm like, all of this? Yeah. I'm like, where y'all getting this stuff from? They're like, oh, people donate it. I'm like, brand new like this? They're like, yeah, still in the pack too. Take it. Wow. You got to go get it tailored. I'm like, I bet, you know. So I took it, used it to the best of my advantage.
Okay.
And then I started to look into where's all these resources at? How can I help out my community?
Yeah.
How can I give back? Why? Because I feel like it's important for us to give back to one another that's coming out, or whatever it is,
Yeah.
youths, whatever. Wrap these resources around everybody because they're out there.
Mm-hmm. What advice would you give to somebody today that just came home and looking for resources? Where would you send them to?
First, I would start off, do you have your identifications?
First things first.
That's first thing first.
Okay.
Do you have your social security card? Do you got your birth certificate? Do you got your ID?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have none of that, I'm going to start you off at ground zero. I'll take you, pick you up, drive you to Boston Medical. Everyone been to Boston Medical. And if you haven't, okay, let's go to Brigham and Women's. What hospital can identify you?
Your birth certificate. Is that what you're looking for? Or?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm looking for your medical records.
Okay.
Because your signature is going to identify who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So you would take that medical records, take it down to the Social Security's office and say, here goes my medical records. Now, by law, they're going to look at that. Once they know that you got that, they have to mail you out a social security card.
When did you start looking into like expunging the records and all that?
When I realized jobs was not playing no more.
Okay.
Employments are like, dude, wait, I think you should get if you didn't commit these crimes, and as I can see, they was all dismissed. You need to get those off your record because, or you need to hide them from the public. I says, I'm not going to hide them. So I said, you know what? I took their idea. I says, how do I get this off my record? I couldn't figure it out. I seen a clip by Judge Mathis, and he says it a lot. A charge or a case does not lead to a conviction is entitled to come off your record. I'm like, wait, what did he say? He said, a charge does that not lead to a conviction is entitled to come off your record. He's like, anything that's been dismissed. Anything that's been dismissed.
Right off the rip, there's no time from
Nope.
it or anything like that.
So they have, it's called a 100K motion. The court's got it.
Okay.
They just don't never tell you.
How would I file that if I wanted to?
I'll go up to the clerk's office. I'll ask them, let me get the 100K motion. They're gonna act stupid. Oh,
Okay.
what are you talking about? The 100K motion, the one I file to get before the judge, to get this deleted out of your file, deleted out of your probation record, deleted out of the county, wherever that the charge happened at, deleted out of the state police, and deleted out of the FBI database. It means it never exists.
Wow. How fast did you start picking up on like the legal terms and the 401K? Like it seems like they purposely make it sound difficult.
It is, but it ain't. If you get before the right judge, you're good. But it depends on your record too.
Okay.
Because some judges might say, let me see his record. Because they're going to base that off that. Yeah, you want to present what you got to present too. You want to give them enough evidence. I didn't commit this crime. It doesn't matter. It could have been 3 people inside of a car, but you charge us all for a firearm. And we all beat it. That needs to come off your record. Right. Because now when it's time for you to go for an employment, they're going to use that against you.
Okay.
And now you're going to be like, man, I'm sitting here, I can't get a job, but that's going to result you to go back to negative activity.
Exactly. Now, what about the stuff that didn't get dismissed? How do you go about getting that off your record? Was that the next move for you?
No. So most charges that dudes plead out to is called Sasha's-dale.
Okay.
I just learned that from an actual lawyer. One of my lawyers, a good friend of mine, a lawyer, he's like, dude, a lot of dudes get the Sasha's-dale. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
He's like, they'd be like, hey, you're going to get out. Just plead guilty. Just go home. But you're pleading guilty to a Sasha's-dale because the court does not tell you. The court does not tell you that, hey, just to let you know that by you pleading guilty to this can affect you in superior court. They don't tell you that. Right. A lawyer is supposed to tell you that, but they don't tell you. So you got a Sasha's-dale. So now I'm going to try to file either... well, I know federal court, it's a 2555. You can file a motion to vacate. I'm going to try to vacate that. And I'm going to ask you, as you being my attorney, for you to sign this documentation saying ineffective counsel. And that's what you actually did. You didn't notify me. You didn't tell me that by me copping out to this first drug charge, it's going to lead to so much stuff. You didn't tell me if I cop out to this charge over here that I can get indicted on my second one either. That's ineffective counsel. I'm not an attorney though,
Right.
but I'm just saying, I think people should go look into that.
What was your process like? Did you get your whole record expunged?
I pretty much did, yeah. All I have left, I have one case I've been fighting in Dorchester.
Okay.
The judge didn't want to give me no leniency, but I think that was because he was able to see a lot of stuff was expunged.
Okay.
But I do know he did say to come back, so he's taking it into under advisement now.
And you're just talking, you're fighting not the actual case, but you're fighting to get it expunged, just for clarification?
Expunged, yes.
Okay, you're not
So,
open case, okay.
Expunged means the case was dismissed. You didn't have enough evidence to prosecute me.
Okay.
You didn't have nothing to prosecute me. I could have been innocent. But there is, I believe, 5 terminologies that's on the expungement motion. One is error by law enforcement. You arrested me, right? That's an error. You believe this person, right? That's an error. Civilian/witness. That means the witness didn't come to court or the civilian did not come to court. You can check that off. Wow. Fraud upon court. Fraud upon court, it's always fraud. Why? Because the cop arrested me based off the allegations of what this next party had said.
Right.
That's false allegations. You took that person's word. Did you investigate? Did you figure out the crime? Did you figure out if I even actually committed a crime?
So what's the difference between expunging something and then like sealing your record?
So sealing is hiding it from the public. Okay. But unfortunately, a lot of jobs, like I said earlier, a lot of employment, they're smart now. Okay. They're getting your either it's called the Federal Credit Fair Act, which means they can tell you every time you got arrested. They'll see every report, whatever. But also they're partnering up with locals or on a federal level.
Now, what if I'm looking for an apartment? I know they like to do checks. What kind of check are they doing? Do you know?
Yeah, they're gonna look for your actual carry. I think
they're gonna be able to look beyond that. Seal the quote, or if it's sealed, they can't see it. For apartments,
they can't see it.
Okay.
If it's sealed, it means it's sealed from the actual public.
Okay.
But some housing authorities, if they got federal level access, and I believe HUD is federal, if I'm not mistaken, they might see it.
So talk about that difference between the state level and the federal level access.
On a state level, if it's sealed, it's sealed. But on the federal level, there's no federal seal. Okay. There's no federal sealing at all. So they're going to be able to see it. So everything that the state police see, they're going to just turn it over here because they're on the federal level.
So it's like almost like a loophole.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
So when do you start getting involved with doing things with like helping others expunge their record? After you get yours done, is this now?
No, so I've been doing it for quite some time.
Nice.
I do have an office. It is in Boston. I have an office now because I was doing it for free for a very long time. But I noticed most lawyers tell their clients, "Oh, I want $5,000, I want $7,000," and I'm like, "Wait, you just try to get that amount of money off of someone who's just trying to expunge their case?" They're like, it doesn't matter. It's still a district case, but it's just a motion.
Right.
So what I do is I try to find grants. I try to find money out there. People that can donate the money, whatever. I would use that actual money to actually help the next person. Yeah. So when people donate to me, I use that money to help the next person out to be able to help them seal or expunge their record.
So when do you start getting involved with the youth now, and why the youth, and what are some things that you've done, man? Just walk.
Honestly, man, the youth, man, I believe, man, the youth deserve a chance to grow. The youth deserve that chance, man. And the reason why I got into youth today is because I've never seen it this worse. This era, I see a lot. When I say a lot, I see a lot of moms and dads bringing their hard-earned pennies and dollars into the funeral home. That's sad. To bury their babies. But I get it, I was once that child in the actual streets. But now you have the younger generation bragging. And it's like, dude, you don't know what's going to come behind that. So now you're bragging about this. Not only that, this hard-earned person, his mother or father, is begging the city to bury their kid because they don't have the money, or their body is sitting in a morgue for weeks and weeks and weeks, and they can't bury their child. And it's sad and it's pathetic. I'm not with it. I'm not against it. I'm not, I'm in the middle. But at the end of the day, I choose to teach these younger youth everything that comes behind the street life. I show them everything. I teach them everything. If that's what you want to go, go. But let me teach you what comes with it.
Okay.
Let me show you and your mom or your dad. And it's no disrespect. I had a lot of parents. Javon, I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Like, they need more men like you out here. That's going to help our youth understand. Hold on. Don't go this route.
Yeah.
Let me take you this route. And when you hit 21 or 24, between that age bracket, if you choose to go that route, by all means, bro, go ahead.
What's your favorite thing that you've done with the youth, or something that kind of stands out to you, man, looking back?
Honestly, I remember last year, man, the youth used to stand up. We was in Roxbury at the mosque, and we'd be outside, and they wrap their arms around me, bro. Like, they're right there, like, Javon, like, you really telling us the truth? Like, you're not lying to us? You're not sugarcoating none of this.
Yeah.
And then it's like, we go out to eat. They like that. We're kicking it. I'm not judging them. They feel like I'm like their big brother that they never had. And it's like, hey, I'm here.
That's amazing.
Even sometimes, 1, 2 in the morning, some people may call me. I'll answer my phone. I'll answer.
That's all.
I don't mind. Let me help you. Let's go. Let's move forward. Let's see how this can be a great situation.
How many kids or young men and women are you helping at a time? Right? Like, how does that work?
Last year I did 150.
150.
Last year. This year, as I showed you the picture before we sat down, last week we took 250 kids to the Boston MMA show. 250 kids.
That's wild.
And thanks to all those that did donate, thanks to all those that did give us the money, all the churches or all the nonprofits or all the locals, whoever did donate, I appreciate that. Thank you. But we was able to show the kids, they're like, wow, I've never been to this.
Wow.
Of course, you never been to this.
Explain that event.
So
what it is, because I don't even know what it is.
It's more like, you remember like Pokemon?
Yeah, okay.
Charizard, stuff like that. What's the other one?
Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever.
It's a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Anime shows.
Dragon Ball Z. Okay.
Yep. So people get dressed up in those actual costumes.
Okay, so it's like a Comic-Con type of thing.
Yes.
Got you.
Yes. Actually, that's the actual other word for it.
Okay.
Comic-Con.
Okay.
Yep. So we actually do that, man, and we was able to bring them there. We was able to bring them down to a church in Cathedral. We was able to feed them Domino's, Chinese food, Spanish food, different varieties. But we was able to connect with them.
That's amazing.
How are you guys? Let us speak to you guys before you guys go.
How do you try to connect with the youth, with there being that generational gap, age gap?
Once they know you came from where their parents are living now, they can relate to you. You let them know, like, hey, I've been there. I've done that. I'm sorry, but whatever was poured into you, come here for a second. How you doing? How's your day going? Yeah. And sometimes I either tap into here or I tap into here, because those are the only two options that you can actually do. And you have to tap into one of them. Because if you can't tap into their brain or if you can't tap into their heart, then this isn't for you. No disrespect, but then this isn't for you.
Why is it important to tap in on such a relatable level?
Because
you think that's the only way they'll take it in?
The moment, and this is what, off of my experience, the moment that these young youth know that they can relate to you, it's off and going. The ball's off and go. They're telling you everything that they did. They're telling you everything. And it's like, bro, I'm right here for you. No worries. And then if they really like you, they're going to give you their number. But me, I break the ice first. Hey, here goes my business card. You can call me at any time. I'm not gonna force this upon you, but I believe I got some good information for you. And they'll sometimes ask me, well, what's the information do you actually have for me? I'm gonna teach you about credit at a young age. Oh man, you don't know nothing about credit, man. You washed up, OG. I'm not an OG, but I can relate to you because my daughter's 4 years old and she has a credit card.
Wow.
My son's only 8. He has a credit card. They both got bank accounts. So what? Oh. Now they're interested. Oh, hey, could we learn more about that? Yeah, sure. I got you. So you're telling me that your kids are building their credit now? Yeah.
Why do you think it's important to kind of more show them than just tell them?
Because I feel like that, and this is no disrespect, but Trump does it. He taught his kids a lot. And look, they got millions.
Generational
wealth. And a lot of people don't understand. You can create generational wealth off of credit, and that's how Trump did it. I'm just a businessman.
No, that's
I'm a businessman myself, so I understand.
How do you build trust with the youth that you guys help out? What's the process? Is it slow or is it immediate?
It's immediately. I let them know whatever you say is confidential to me.
Okay.
However, if it's something involved with something real serious, I only can refer you to one of my coalitions, which is my partner Leonard. He has a whole team of staff, lawyers, whatever, etc.
Okay.
And I would I'll talk to Leonard myself. This is a good kid. He's dealing with some stuff that I may not be licensed in. I can't talk about with. I can talk to him in the room with you guys because you guys are licensed. So that's the only way I can actually be involved in that setting.
Okay, so talk to me about the feeling you get after you help 250 kids. You bring them to this event, man. You go home and it's like, what's that feeling like to help, man? It's got to be amazing.
It is amazing. My wife yells at me all the time. You need to spend more time with me. You're always out with these kids. But at the end of the day, she feels good.
Yeah.
She feels good. She understands. She's understandable. She understands. I love these kids. And it's not that because of guilt or anything like that. It's because I know what I poured into my community. I know I destroyed my community. I poisoned my community. And I understand that I was addicted to what they're addicted to.
You're doing a lot with the youth, and that's amazing, and you're helping the youth. What about like DYS? Is there some way that you could get in there, or if you could, what's some things you would tell to them, or have you already, man?
No, so I have not went into the DYS. To me, it was trauma a little bit. It was triggers.
Yeah.
I actually got to the front gate and I got cold feet. I don't want to go back there.
Yeah.
I don't want to be back in there. And it's no disrespect, but I'm trying to plan something now where now I feel more better.
Yeah.
I feel more confident. I feel more confident in what I'm actually am doing. I only got cold feet because I was told by another friend of mine before I got these, like, this isn't how it is when you was here. It's not the same. These kids that are at Harvard Street, and I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know. I haven't done my research about it yet. But the kids that are at Harvard Street DYS, they're getting prepped to go to South Bay.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
They calling it the Baby Bay 20 years ago when I was there.
So when someone told me that, I cried. It was no disrespect. I cried because y'all putting these kids through that. Y'all putting these kids through that? You really serious? You putting these kids through that? And you're telling me that they're going to South Bay. Yeah. They're not going home. They're not going home to their mommy and daddy. Like how I was when I was here.
Yeah.
They say ain't no kids walking through that gate.
Wow.
The only thing them kids are going to be doing is riding in the bus to South Bay. I'm like, damn. So I tried to come up with a plan. And I wanted to put a plan together, with one of my guys, Leonard, man. He's the best. Yeah. He's amazing. He used to work with Father's Uplift, man. I wanted to put a plan together through him because he's actually licensed, and he has his doctors.
That's dope.
So he tried to teach me certain stuff, and he tried to wrap his arms around me like, Javon, this is the right angle to go. Go back there, give back to them kids, let them know that's not where they want to be. But you might have to go for right now and let them know you're sorry about that.
Yeah.
and let them know you can relate to them, but they can change. They have a chance.
And that's all you want to give them is that chance. You know what I mean?
I want to be able to give them hope. I want to be able to let them know I believe in them too.
Yeah.
Their mothers believe in them. Their fathers believe in them. Yeah, mommy and daddy can't come visit you every weekend, but we got to understand, as us being young youthful offenders or youth DYS committed, whatever it is,
Yeah.
we put ourselves in that predicament. Yeah, we wasn't old enough to make that right decision making, but we did what we did. We chose to do what we did.
Yeah, I feel like there's plenty of kids who are in same or similar situations that didn't do the things we do. Why some of us do and why some of us don't, I don't know.
I feel like it's, and this is no disrespect to anybody that's listening or anybody that's watching. I feel like it's what's poured into us. It's for what's poured into us.
And where does a lot of that start? At home, you think, or schools? Everything combined?
Everything combined.
TV, entertainment?
Everything combined. My daughter, she's only 4. She's in private school. She gets home, Daddy, I'm going to do my homework. Okay, Daddy, I'm going to go to the table. Can I get this? Yes, go ahead. After I do my homework, I'm going to get a snack. Okay, how many pages did you do? Daddy, I did 5. Great.
Yeah.
Let me see it. Let me check it. Let me look over it. If I messed up, I'll do an extra page. Okay, great, cool. I love it. My stepdaughter, same thing. She sits at the table, computer, doing work.
What's your favorite thing about that dynamic, about being a fatherhood, man? What's your favorite thing?
Honestly, fatherhood means a lot. I know a lot of people, if they Google my name, I was with Father's Uplift for a very long time.
Talk about, what is that? That's a program, I take it?
Yes, it's off of Southern Ave in Boston. It's a fatherhood program.
Amazing.
They got resources there too. They have 2 sides now. They have one for Reentry too now.
Okay, that's what's up.
So, but the father side, we used to throw barbecues every year, bring all the dads out, be involved in your child life, be involved, be there, support them. Why? Because the kids need help. The kids need help. These kids love us. And most importantly, they love if you got a daughter, she got to be daddy's little girl.
Yeah. What advice would you give to somebody who's kind of nervous about being in their kid, man? Because my brother been down, he got locked up right before his daughter's first birthday. He'd been down 15 years. He says to me sometimes, like, I don't even know, like, what I'm gonna do with her. How can I relate? I just said, just be there. But like, I'm not a father. I don't know. So why don't you drop some advice for somebody like that, man? They just come home and then, you know how it is, insecurities. When men, we come out, like you said, we have nothing.
I go through that with my stepdaughter. At first, she's like, I don't believe in stepdads. But then when she's seen I was really there for her, she's like, damn, I'm sorry. But I think it's very important. It's very important to all the men out there. Be involved in your child's life. Whether if you wasn't around for 5, 10, 15 years, it doesn't matter. Get involved. Get to know your child. Be there for them. Support them. Walk them down the aisles. Pick them up. Have conversations with them. Why? Because you never know what a child's really actually going through.
Yeah.
And I didn't learn that until my stepdaughter was actually hospitalized. And I didn't know what she was going through. She hid it from me and her mother.
Yeah.
But it was something she was going through because of her dad.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
How do you deal with the mental health aspect with some of these, you know, the youth, these younger kids that you help? Do you address that, or do you send them to the clinicians, or? Sometimes
I build with them one-on-one. When I see that they're going through something, come here, King. They like that word.
Yeah.
King, he's acknowledging me. Come on, King, come here.
That's what's up.
Let me help you out for a second. Come here. What's going on? Come on, talk to me. Why? Because a younger man needs that ear. They need that ear, knowing that you're going to listen. And if it's a younger woman, they need that shoulder that they can cry on. And it's very important. Why? Because if you got that shoulder for them to cry on, they let it out now. They got it out. And if you got that ear for them that you're going to be listening, now they're going to feel better. But then even after that, I still connect them with here, let me connect you with Leonard. Leonard's going to connect you with a collision. And I'll make sure it's someone that can relate to you. Not that's going to sit there and just yeah, whatever, and just bill your insurance. No, that's not what we're about. No, we're gonna make sure someone is reaching out to you to get this help.
Say you see a kid on the bus or something, man. He's got like the manila envelope. He just came home, aged out of DYS, right? He got his GED or a high school diploma in there, and he's like, man, I all I know is the streets, man. What do I do?
That's a tough one, but what advice I would personally give them? Come here, let's go get your documentations. Let's get your identifications, whatever that you need. However, go get a slow, quick temp agency job, but because you're 18 or you just aged out, whatever the case may be, let's go sign up for one of these unions right here. You may not be good with your hands, but let's go to the labor's union. Labor's is going to open up the door for you, man. You're there from the beginning to the end of every project. Labor's is the ones that stay on the job the actual longest.
Okay.
So go sign up for the labor's union. You're young, they'll accept you. They'll take you quick. Come on. Even if that's not what you're into, hold on. But you still got the temp agencies right here. Just take that job for right now. And as you're taking that job, you get everything that you actually need. And you wrap the resources around you. Keep wrapping those resources around you. But sign up for other programs or whatever trade that you may like.
Yeah, that's smart. Do you think it's important for people to kind of figure out what it is they like? Because I think some people don't even know what they like to do.
To be honest, I didn't know what I like. If you can sell drugs, you can sell hats. You can sell T-shirts.
Anything.
You can sell anything.
And it's lower risk. You know what I mean?
You don't have to look over your shoulder. You don't got to look this way. You don't got to look that way.
All right, so if you could thrive in an environment where like your life is on the line, your freedom is on the line, like I say, high stakes, there's no reason that you couldn't be able to thrive in a world where these people are not really built like that, because it takes a certain moxie to kind of be successful, even if it's a little bit of success, and I say success in air quotes, but to be out there making money, it takes a little bit of something in you that not everybody has, you know what I mean? And it's a good thing to transfer, like you said, those hustling skills into something legit. There's so many things that everything needs to be sold.
I feel like this, and this is one saying I always tell people. If you're in the streets, the goal is get whatever's yours, get out. Because we all know the dead end is down one of these side streets. The dead end is down one of these side streets, man. Get in, get what's yours, and go legit. That's it.
Okay, how do you feel about education and higher learning, college, stuff like that? Is that something that you recommend?
Absolutely.
It's not for everybody, but
absolutely. I put Harvard on my Instagram the other day. Actually, they're giving out 6 courses for free to the community.
And how do you just go on the website, sign up?
Normally I post it a lot. I see different stuff. I post it, but go on there. There's resources everywhere. You can go to, let me see, Drive with Jimmy. He has a platform. He exposes it too. I exposes it. Can't remember the owner. I think it's Sharif. He advertised stuff too. Kurt Foster advertised stuff too.
I see him a lot. Yep.
Yeah, everyone advertise it. Why? Because we all been through this. We all know what it is.
I see on your Instagram it says motivational speaker.
Yes.
Why is that important to speak for you? And like, what are some things that you've done as far as that?
Honestly, King, I've done a lot. I spoke to a lot of youth. I spoke to a lot of young adults. I meet clients every day at the courthouse. I'm near. Let me help you out. I done help guys get time served. I helped one young man. I can't say his name. I helped him get time served. I think this was his 3rd strap. His 3rd gun charge. They wanted ACC. I said, come on. He's already on the street. Why? Why now? You didn't think he was going to get bail, but now he's out. Why give him ACC? Why not let him get time served? Prove to us he deserved time served. We took him in. Hold on. Let us help him out. We're going to get him out. We're going to get him into some nice community service. Let's go help him out. We got him back in front of a judge. The judge says, what are we going to do? The DA said, I need some letters. Oh, here. They all right here. All right, time served.
No.
And I was like, you just put us through all of that. And now all we did was came to come speak to you on this young man's behalf. But because they don't know how to speak for themselves and they didn't have the resources, you was gonna roof them.
That's wild.
But because we know how to speak and we know how to give back to our community and we're known to give back, now you want to give him what I'm not gonna say he deserved, but now you want to give him time served.
Do you feel like reading a lot helps you become an eloquent speaker?
I think practice make perfect. I utilize the 5 P's: proper preparation, prevent poor performance. I utilize those all the time.
That's dope.
So, and then there's 3 D's: discipline, dedication, and determination. You utilize the 5 P's and you utilize the 3 D's. I think you'll be okay.
You've been doing some amazing things, bro, and definitely appreciate you coming up here. Talk to me a little bit about what are like the short-term goals that you have, and then maybe some long-term goals as well with everything that you're doing, or like your life in general.
Well, I'm not gonna say my short-term, but I'm gonna start off with my long-term goal.
Okay.
My long-term goal is to help the youth, help brothers, help sisters, whoever's coming out. Let's wrap these arms around y'all. Let's open up more resources. And little do people know, they're out there. It's out there.
Yeah.
But if our community is not speaking up and is not fighting, we're not going to be able to get what we need.
Okay. What do you got? You got anything coming up in the short term? Any events or anything like that?
I'm working on a lot of stuff behind the scenes right now. I am community partner with Linnet. I am community partner with ITY and inspiring today's young adults. And we're like gonna continue to work with these younger youths. We're gonna keep doing what we have to do. We're gonna keep doing everything that is under the sun to keep our youth out of jail. Absolutely. We're gonna keep doing it. We're gonna keep our pedal to the metal. And I'm gonna keep helping brothers. I'm gonna keep fighting for brothers to help get time served or whatever it is, or justifiable sentences that where their backs up against the wall, but the courts is trying to put their backs up.
Yeah, the punishment got to fit the crime, and a lot of times it doesn't. You know, there's a lot of people in there that they already did their time with it, regardless of whatever sentence they got. They did enough time, and it's time for them to come home. If there's anything that you wanted to touch on that we didn't get a chance to, or just some closing words, man.
I just feel like for all my fellas that, been there, you've been there where I've been, you've done that. I get it. You lived that. Let's start to teach these younger youth how to grow. Let's motivate them. Let's motivate them to go to school, because now you got more young kids now. They don't want to go to school. They don't want to go to school. They want to stay at home, smoke weed. They want to do different things, and it's like, bro, come on, bro, like
there's more out there.
We're fellas, and I want all my fellas and sisters to think about this, right? What if I poured a lot of BS into your child, right? No disrespect, we're street dudes, right? We came from the actual streets, so we got to live with that, right? But now, say if I take your son or daughter with me, vice versa, and I poured a lot of negativity into them, but then they end up getting themselves hurt to where that there's no coming back. Unfortunately, some people may say, charge it to the game, right? But no, that person's not going to charge it to the game, because that's their baby. That's their baby. You poured some negative bullshit into my child, and my child got their head knocked off. But you're a street, right? You should be charging to the game, right? No. So I ask fellas and, the ladies to think about that. You have a child to raise. Would you want someone to pour what was poured into you into your child? And that's why I raise my children differently. That's why they're in private school. That's why I'm not gonna lie to you, at home on the weekends, ain't no outside. Yeah. We gonna do homework.
That's what's up. Well, I appreciate you coming through, man. I appreciate everything you're doing in the community, and I love to see it. So why don't you just tell them one more time, give them the Instagram where they can find you at?
Tulie 617. you can find me, man. I love y'all, man. Be great, man. I wish you guys the best.
Absolutely.
I really hope, fellas, man, step up. Let's be dads. Let's be involved in these children's lives. Let's be out there. Let's do what we got to do. And let's help our community grow.
Let's go. Javon Tooley. I'm B. Luke. This is the Bounce Back Podcast. Remember, guys, it is what it is. What's next is what you make it. And on that note, we out of here.
That's right.
Bounce back, ain't got a moment. When they see you down, there's no